One of my pet peeves is when students ask if I will teach abs in a yoga class. Seriously, my ancestors would roll in their graves. Although I don't promote ab exercises in a yoga class like typical crunches and sit-ups, not that any sane person should do those anyway, you can modify some of the standing poses to focus on your core more than the muscles of your limbs. Let me just show you what I mean. How I like to train my core muscles in yoga is to incorporate core work into some of the classical yoga poses. So I'm still doing yoga. I'm going to do half moon pose, but rather than start with my hand from the bottom and lift upwards, which is more of a stretch and a work for your standing leg hamstring, I'm going to start standing upwards and I'm going to feel my core muscles. So I'm imagining I'm wearing a corset, and this corset is holding my lower back in the right place, and I just come to stand. There we go. Rather than this, if I go in slumped, I stay slumped. So you just posture up, and as you go into half moon, you just maintain posture. Now this isn't even the hard part. I'm now going to move my limbs around as I maintain the pose. And maybe even come back to warrior 3. Don't know why I'm so wobbly today, actually. A bit later in the day, perhaps. Warrior 3. All the while, whilst all this is happening, whilst I'm wobbling and whilst I'm creating yoga poses, I'm not moving my lower back an inch, a centimeter, a millimeter. During that entire time, there was a temptation for this, to lose that imaginary corset, for my lower back to move, the space between my bones to decrease, but I was resisting that in my head the entire time. A lot of people think core strength is measured by how long you can hold a plank, and that's not entirely accurate. Having a good plank means that you have a good plank, but the effect, the benefits of that is not as transferable as you might think. How you want to challenge your core is to create movements and positions where you're tempted to move your lower back. You move your limbs, you dance around, but you never lose that space. You're always wearing that corset. So no matter what you do, everything stays and you come back and you've got it. So you come back to half moon, and what you can do then is laterally bend your spine and then use your core to lift up again. From here, you can laterally bend your spine and then use your core muscles to lift up again. Yeah. So what I do is I deviate from neutral intentionally, and then I use my core to lift me up again. There we go. And I do need to do the other side because I'm really feeling that. So again, space. By space, I mean space between your ribs and your hip, not this, not slumped. Look what happens when I go in slumped. Okay, I want space, I want posture, and that maintains there. I drop, and I use my core to come back again. I drop, and I use my core to come back again, and I just come back, and man, I'm feeling that. The next one is one of my favorite ways to work your core. As you come up, you're going to work the superficial muscles, your abdominals, and because there's very little load and demand on your body, it's quite it's not a great risk for your lower back, which is what traditional crunches can do. They can cause more harm than good. So I want to do a pistol squat. Left foot down, right leg up. I want to use momentum and come into warrior 3. 3, 2, 1. Use my abdominals to lift up I just cheated because I was doing it slow. Let me do that again. Warrior 3. And then slowly, I use my core, I drop down, and I just round. Come back. Warrior 3, and come to standing. Woo! Let me know how you get on, but you really don't need to send me pictures of your abs afterwards. Just comment below. Let me know how it's going for you. And as with everything that I teach, how about I propose a challenge? How about you do this for 30 days, every day for 30 days, or as many times as you can over 30 days. It might be every 2 or 3 days with, lives. I have a little one with the school runs. I know exactly what it's like, but do it regularly and consistently. Embrace the science, the process, and the principle of adaptation, which means if you expose your body to a certain stimulus over time, your brain and nervous system will absolutely adapt to that. Your core muscles will improve, you will feel better, you'll carry yourself better, and you'll start to find some of the yoga poses become easier, which is the goal over time. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know if I can help you anymore.